What's going on, guys? Faris Khan here, and today I'm going to be telling you how to improve your ankle stiffness and build elite levels of athleticism. When I talk about ankle stiffness, I'm not talking about poor ankle mobility. This is completely different. Ankle stiffness is referring to the ability of your tendons, ligaments, and tissues to maintain tension as you contact the ground. Now, this is extremely important for explosive movements such as jumping and sprinting, because when you have appropriate levels of ankle stiffness, upon impacting the ground, your ankle will be able to effectively absorb, store, and rapidly release that energy and allow you to produce more force. So this will literally act as a dynamic spring that will propel you off of the ground as you're jumping and sprinting and will make you a better, more powerful athlete. So without further ado, let's get into some of my favorite exercises to build and improve that ankle stiffness. All right, guys, so these first couple exercises I'm gonna show you are ones that you can do anywhere. I like doing these ones at home. They're simple, don't need any equipment, and they're super effective. So first things first, take your shoes off, okay? Doing these types of exercises will be more beneficial if you're in socks or barefoot, and it really helps that mind to muscle connection, okay? So for this very first exercise, all I'm gonna do is I wanna raise my heels, and then I'm gonna get into a deep squat, and I'm gonna hold it, okay? So it's a nice isometric move right here. I'm not trying to actively flex my calves. I'm just holding and keeping my ankle locked in a specific position, not letting my heels drop down, okay? If you're a beginner, start with 30 seconds. You're gonna realize that this is actually a little bit tougher than it seems. You can work all the way up to a minute, 2 minutes, and then even 5 minutes. And why I like doing this one at home is because you could do whatever you want. You could be watching TV, get on your phone, read a book, brush your teeth. Super simple, super effective. Let's do it. So this next movement is gonna be a progression of the first one. It's still great because you can do this anywhere, but it is gonna be a little bit more challenging. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually get into a split lunge position, and you wanna let that heel rise, and you're just gonna hold that position. Now this is a lot tougher because all of that tension and pressure is coming onto that front ankle. So it's really gonna make you work hard to maintain that position. And of course, you wanna do both sides with this, okay? So kind of the same thing, work with 30 seconds, go up to a minute, 2 minutes, then even 5 minutes. You can even see me shaking a little bit because this is a lot tougher. If you do come up, it gets a little bit easier because then it requires a little less stabilization from the surrounding muscles. But this is a great one. I like to brush my teeth in this position. And once I'm good at this, then we can move on to the next progression, which is a dynamic back and forth. Now this is a lot tougher because now we have movement involved. But as you can see, I'm still keeping that ankle in a fixed position. My heel never touches the ground through the entire movement. This is a wonderful one. I like to go for reps, but you can also do it for time. And of course, you want to switch the legs too. And another great thing about this variation is that you can control your speed. So the faster you go, the more you're going to have to work. You can start nice and slowly as you're getting used to it. And then if you go faster, it's going to require a lot more control from the ankle as it's more dynamic, more explosive, and going to help translate more to athletic movements. So it's a great one. Definitely add this one in too. All right, so we got through those isometrics and the dynamic movement, but now we're gonna get more dynamic and a little bit more explosive. We're gonna do some hops. Low-level hops are wonderful for improving ankle stiffness and for teaching the foot how to produce force into the ground. My favorite exercise to begin with is the pogo hop. Now I absolutely love the pogo hops because they're super easy to learn, they're so effective, and once you master it, it opens the door to so many more advanced and more coordinated movements that's gonna challenge you and improve your ankle stiffness that much further. Now when performing pogo hops, you wanna have minimal bend from the knees and the hips. Most of the activity is gonna come from the lower leg. You wanna take off and land from the ball of the foot, And when that foot leaves the ground, you want to pull your toes towards the shin. Now, once you get comfortable with that, this is where the real fun happens, because you can start going side to side, forward and back. You can even progress to single leg. You can go forward, back, left, right. You can start moving in all different directions. And depending on the sport you play, you can make this pretty specific for you. For example, if you have a sport where you have to move side to side and in different directions, then you should practice and train in those different directions. So this is very specific. I love it. It's really going to help that ankle stiffness and help your ability to produce force into the ground. So once you get comfortable with pogos and single leg pogos in different directions, here's a progression that's going to take things to a whole nother level. So you're going to need 2 plates, preferably 2 bumper or rubber plates. Place them on the ground, and you want about a hand's length in between. Now, this is going to be moving in different directions and in different levels. So you're going to start on one leg, you're going to hop onto the plate, back, to the side, and then to the other plate. So this is one thing that we're going to do for some speed, okay? So if I'm trying to go fast, I'm going to be going for about 10 seconds. I want to remain nice and rhythmic, and I want to try to get at least 10 plate taps in 10 seconds. That should be the goal. And you'll notice that if you have some differences from left to right, maybe you can get 10 on the left and like 8 on the right. So it's a thing that you can work at and continuously progress with. All right, guys, so finally, the last thing that I love doing to improve ankle stiffness, besides sprinting, are repeated jumps. Things like hurdle hops, bounding, repeated tuck jumps. These are all very dynamic and very explosive. They do require a good amount of coordination, but they will translate so nicely into those explosive athletic skills that we are trying to improve. So when it comes to repeated jumps, I do mean some high effort stuff, by the way. So one of the best things to begin with are repeated tuck jumps. These are high force absorption and high force production. So I'm gonna stand in place and I'm simply gonna just jump hard. And as soon as my feet touch the ground, I'm coming right back up. You can notice my heels are not touching the ground whatsoever. And then a progression from there can be single leg. One thing to keep in mind, guys, is that ankle stiffness does take time to build up to, okay? Do not expect any improvements overnight. This will take a while to get good at. You look at some of the top sprinters in the world like Usain Bolt or any of those guys, they have incredible ankle stiffness, and trust me, it did not come just like that, okay? It's gonna require a lot of consistency, it requires a lot of patience, but if you stick with it, it will improve. So there you have it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave it a like and share it with everybody else you think can benefit. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section down below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys soon.